V15 on Facebook. Civic Center TV, television that's close to home. Stay tuned for the Splash Live. It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you so much for being here. I'm your host for today, Kevin McIntosh. Starting off with our top stories of the day, not one, but two Orchard Lake St. Mary's legends are headed to the pros. First and foremost, Ike Irish, backstop for the back-to-back state champions, have been selected 19th overall in the first round by the Baltimore Orioles. The left-handed hitting catcher / outfielder from Auburn was consensus All-American, hitting .364 with a stunning .710 slugging percentage. Let's go. The Orioles love his versatility in behind the plate and at first base, and scouts praise him as one of the purest hitters in this year's draft. And late Saturday night, another Eaglet made the pitch. Nolan Schubart went to round 3, 101 overall to the Cleveland Guardians. He's a powerful outfielder as well. We want to say congratulations to both local athletes for achieving their goals and making it to the major leagues. Our team sends out a newsletter that highlights our top stories and best programs each and every week. Now, you'll get behind on our top story. Well, you'll never get behind on our top stories in the Greater West Bloomfield area. All you need to do is scan this QR code that you see on your TV right now on Civic Center TV, and it will take you to our sign-up page. Then you can check your email, and at the end of every week, you see what's going on right here in your community in our very own hometown. And of course, our content is always available on our very own website. That's civiccentertv.com. Summer heat spikes mean rising energy bills, so everyone wants to know smart ways to stay cool but also save some money. I recently visited local home inspector Jessica Lawton to share practical steps every homeowner and renter can take to stay cool and save money.
Depending on what you want to do, right? So the best thing, everybody wants their house nice and cool, is to maintain your air conditioner. And a lot of people think, oh, I have to have somebody come out to do that. There are things that you can do yourself. The easiest is making sure you're changing your filter. Every 3 to 4 months, maybe 3 months if you have a lot of dogs, pets, anything like that, that dander clogs up. Usually at least twice a summer, just doing a home inspection, I end up defrosting somebody's air conditioner because of a dirty filter. So changing that filter is going to help the airflow, keep the coil colder, keep it clean. And then there are some other items you can use, like making sure that your suction line insulation on the unit, which I'll show you how to do. That's an easy thing to do yourself. You can get reflective window film so that when the sun is bouncing in, it sort of reflects it back out so that the windows don't absorb it the same way. And then we can also talk about some things in terms of not losing all that cold air that you're paying for by caulking and filling gaps and things like that on the outside of your house.
With the AC being the main component to fight the summer heat, Jessica continued by further explaining the lifetime and maintenance required on our home air conditioning system.
And air conditioners up here, Honestly, 15 to 25 years we get, because they only work for a few months out of the year, right? Our furnaces work a lot harder than our air conditioners here in Michigan. If you haven't been staying on top of, or maybe the person who lived in your home before wasn't staying on top of keeping their filters changed, the A coil that sits at your furnace, that can actually get dirty, and it can cause the A coil to ice up, which sounds like you should get really cold air, but that's not what it means. It means you'll actually get warm air. So staying on top of changing filters, like, it's not just air quality, it actually is the function of the system.
Another great perspective we learned to consider is the direction and location of our home and how it affects heating and cooling.
In this home, these windows here, the front of the home is south facing. So south facing windows get sun all day long, right? So it's a good idea when we get those really hot sunny days, keep the curtains drawn on that. You're not going to get as much of what they call solar gain, right? So the house isn't sort of just heating up because the sun is just shining through those windows. East facing, you're going to get morning sun and then shade in the afternoon. If you know your home is south facing and you're leaving in the morning, it might be a good idea just to close up those curtains before you leave so that it doesn't just sort of shine through and kind of warm up the house all day long. So you're coming home to a house that's much hotter, or your HVAC system is working really hard to cool the house while you're gone.
Our local utility providers also have resources available to help you get the most of your energy while saving money.
DTE and consumers both have programs for that. They have rebates that they offer. Like I know DTE does a rebate for smart thermostats. I think it's around $50 right now for a smart thermostat. They also DTE has a program for interruptible air conditioning service, so they can install a second meter on your air conditioner. They'll offer you a lower rate that just the electricity the air conditioner uses in exchange for that. And then also, if you do decide to put in a new air conditioner, if you get to a certain level of efficiency, or what's called the SEER rating, you will get rebates back on that as well, depending on how energy efficient it is.
Some great advice to beat the heat this summer. For more on summer energy savings, go directly to dteenergy.com, consumersenergy.com, or visit your local utilities provider's website for more information. Saturday, July 19th at Oakland County Farmers Market in Waterford, it is Family Market Day, promoting access to fresh, locally grown produce and supports healthy community eating habits. Joining me right here on the Splash Live to talk a little bit more about this event, we have Market Manager for Oakland County Farmers Market, Brad Weathy, being here. Thank you so much for being here, Brad.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
Doing so great, doing good, starting off Friday, talking about some locally grown produce and family market days. But before we get into this, let's talk about the details before we even start, the details of dates and things of that nature.
Certainly. Yeah, so coming up here on July 19th, so not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, the market is open from 7 a.m. until 1:30 p.m., but the family market day activities will kick off at 8 a.m. and go until 1 p.m.
There we go.
So feel free to still shop early, arrive early. The festivities will kind of kick off at 8 a.m. and will be throughout the entire market day.
Now let's just talk about that specific day and specific event, the Family Market Day. What about the Family Market Day do you feel like resonates with West Bloomfield community?
Sure. So our normal market vendors will be there. We're kind of kicking off produce season, so we've got a good amount of vendors in. I'm guessing probably between 45 to 50 or so. But partnered with Healthy Oakland Partnership, we bring in all sorts of extra vendors and informational guests. Things from the health department, from MSUE, to just name a couple. But we also bring in fun things for the kids. We bring in bouncy houses, climbing towers, junkyard games. So things to keep the parents busy, things to keep the kids busy, but it's all centered around healthy, fun activities.
Let me tell you, Brad, that's a great thing to consider, having something for those kids, because just being a parent and trying to be out about in your day and doing stuff like this, just dragging them along, sometimes they can get restless and, just want to do a lot, have a lot of energy, you don't know what to do with them, but to have that bounce house there for them while you're actually learning, shopping for some locally grown produce, sounds like a great mix. We're going to continue to go into that direction as well, Brad, but I want to ask you, with these past events, how do you feel like they have actually influenced healthy eating within the Greater West Bloomfield families?
Certainly. So our vendors here at the market who sell our produce, and really all of our vendors at the market, are all producer-based, meaning if, let's say, you're buying a tomato from that vendor grew that tomato. So not only are they offering the fresh produce, the fresh options for you, if you've got questions on how to cook it, how to prepare it, how to even consume it, they can answer those questions for you. I will admit, I am not a big fan of tomatoes myself, but talking to those vendors, they have now convinced me better ways to enjoy it, and I'm therefore healthier and even happier just eating that.
Brad, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little surprised that you don't eat tomato. I'm a very picky eater, so I definitely do. I'm taking them off my burgers and everything. But a lot of people will tell you, you just have to cook it right. You have to make it the right way. They always influence you to just cook it and make it the right way, and then you can enjoy it. So I understand that as well. Okay, so it's another component to the event I want to talk about, right? And you can correct me if I'm wrong. $5 coupons for Bridge, EBT, and WIC participants. With that coupon, can you just talk about what positive changes have you seen in extending food access to all parts of our community?
Absolutely. Kind of as we all know, food is becoming a little bit more scarce, a little bit more expensive even. Luckily at the market, prices have been staying pretty darn similar to even years past. But with these programs, the SNAP program, the Double Up Food Buck program, the WIC program, it gives that much more really availability to more guests to eat healthy. There are some different parameters around each program, which the staff there at the market, myself included, are happy to walk guests through. We always have a food assistance table kind of in the alcove of the market, right in the crossroads of our building. But during this event on the 19th, we'll have another table installed, 20, I believe, right across the hall that'll have more information and more staff really to help with these food assistance programs. So we're happy to help anyone who's already familiar with the programs or introduce anyone who might be interested in taking advantage of them.
Perfect. I love that they're considering the families of different socioeconomic levels in regards to this too. Just literally promoting access for everyone for this locally grown produce as well. And with me right here on the Splash Live, talking about Family Market Days happening at Oakland County Farmers Market. We're talking to Brad Wethy, the market manager, and just talking about how great this program and this event is overall for our local community. Let's kind of talk about the other perspective in regards to this event. The vendors. Do you have any local store, just to kind of maybe even anyone who's aspiring to be a vendor or someone who wants to make produce and give it to the farmers market? Just talk about some of the benefits or even a story that you have from a vendor who maybe even found success in attending one of these events.
Certainly. So we've got, in a calendar year, we've got about 80 to 100 different vendors. They are not all there at the same time, but quite a few of them. Some as local as a half mile away from the market. The furthest I can think of drives about 4 hours to get into our market. Ooh. So we bring in vendors from almost the entire lower peninsula of Michigan. Some vendors have even started at the market and have grown so large and so well that they've actually moved on from the market and created their own businesses, their own storefronts. But what I love is we have vendors there who have thousands of acres of produce that they bring in. And we've got some vendors who have a garden in their backyard and bring it to us. Being producer only, we are happy to accommodate any vendor as long as they're a producer of those items. So I'll put a little plug in there that we are always looking for more farmers. So anyone paying attention here, if you grow produce, please get a hold of me, get a hold of the market. We also have our applications on our website, oaklandcountyparks.com. But there are tons of success stories where people are finding produce at the market, eating a little bit healthier, and just feeling that much better.
Nice. And I like that you kind of painted the picture for the scale. People that's growing stuff in their backyards all the way to people who have like actual farms and drive far. And you just literally paint that picture. It's literally from people right here in our community, people that's driving far. But it's locally sourced. Ultimately, it's naturally grown. And we appreciate and love that information. And just being able to, like you said as well, learning how to cook it, how to consume it, the lifetime of our produce as well. All of that is very, very important. A couple things we want to address before we let you go, Brad. Some of the feedback you may have gotten from residents in regards to some of the barriers that they do face when they are trying to get these locally grown produce and things like that. Can you just talk about how this event helps address some of those concerns? Oh, slight audio mishap with Brad right now. I'm pretty sure we're going to figure that out with our producers. But just to reset the show, with me right here live on the Splash, market manager for Oakland County Farmers Market in Waterford, Brad Wethy, talking about the upcoming Family Market Days on Saturday, July 19th, and just talking about the importance of locally grown produce and how they all be sourced and have local vendors there to help promote healthy eating amongst families and residents right here in our area. And we're being joined once again by Mr. Weather, just continuously talking about how this event is helping to address some of the barriers and some of the concerns that residents may come to you about in regards to their access to this locally grown produce. Please continue.
Yeah, so I guess talking about some of the
Think we're still having a little. Okay, just a technical difficulty, nothing to worry about. We will iron out these wrinkles, and once we come back, we'll have more information for you. We are live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Floodwaters can rise fast. Take precautions to stay safe. Follow the instructions of local officials and all emergency notifications. If authorities say evacuate, don't wait. Do not walk, swim, or drive through floodwaters. Just 1 foot of water can sweep away a vehicle. Never drive around barricades. You don't know what danger may be on the other side. For more tips on how to protect your family, visit ready.gov/floods.
A breath of fresh air would do you a world of good. Breathe in deep and let fresh renew your spirit in pure Michigan.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
Hello, my name is Danya Bazzi. I'm the superintendent of West Bloomfield School District. I want to congratulate Civic Center TV on hitting the amazing milestone of 1 million viewers. Your involvement in our community doesn't go unnoticed. We thank you for keeping our residents and community engaged in the latest and greatest news and information. I'm Danya Bazzi, and I'm proud to be 1 in a million.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you so much for joining us. I am your host, Kevin McIntosh. Continuously talking about the family market days that'll be happening at Oakland County Farmers Market in Waterford, July 19th. Great event that will be promoting healthy eating amongst families in our community from locally sourced produce. We're talking to market manager Brad Wethy, continuously giving us more information in regards to this event. So picking up essentially where we left off, Mr. Wethy, just looking ahead, how do you feel Oakland County plan to maintain and grow its support for healthy living initiatives like Family Market Day across West Bloomfield area is actually going on at your farmers market? As we continuously figure things out with Mr. Wethy, we want to thank you again for joining us so much, Mr. Wethy, market manager from Oakland County Farmers Market in Waterford, promoting the Family Market Days. Thank you again.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. We'll continuously keep you updated on information in regards to that Family Market Days event happening right here in Waterford. But if you want to yourself, go to their website, oakgov.com, for more information regarding that as well. And right now, the summer heat is turning things up in our local area, which means we all have to protect our skin. Excessive heat usually coincides with a high UV index, greatly increasing the risk of sunburn, premature skin aging, skin cancer, and more. And we recently spoke to Dr. Molly Powers from Henry Ford Hospital's Department of Dermatology to explain more about these risks and how you can protect your skin. Thanks for being here, Dr. Powers.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
And we appreciate that. We appreciate it. So let's get straight into it. We've been experiencing some hot days recently. It's like the sun is literally right here in Greater West Bloomfield. Let's talk about what are some of the top sun protection concerns that you're seeing right now with this extreme heat affecting our residents.
Oh, it's been so hot. And with that comes our human nature to want to cool down and also enjoy the most out of our summer. So what we're seeing a lot are more and more sunburns. People are going out and seeking water sports and playing in pools and trying to keep cool. But with that and being outside and being in the sun definitely adds more ultraviolet radiation. So I'm seeing a lot of patients coming in after long weekends at a lake or in a pool or at a splash pad. And when they're playing in the water and not using the right sun protective tools, it increases your risks for burns and ultimately sun damage and DNA damage in our skin later on.
Yeah, I was reading the notes. It was saying increased aging and stuff like that. I like to go outside and get my vitamin D from the sun as well, but if it's gonna make me age faster, you can keep me in the house for all of that. That's kind of crazy. So, I mean, but we like to enjoy it. We've been in the house all winter, Dr. Powers. We want to get outside now. So for us that want to go outside, enjoy time on a lake, on our boats, or just out on the splash pad for a couple hours, what's your advice for that long-term sun protection during those heat waves?
Yeah, I feel that too. These Michigan winters are long and we had not so great spring, so we definitely want to make the most out of our summers, but there's a safe way to do it. It's really about the adequate sun protection. So sunscreen, particularly broad spectrum sunscreen, that's protecting against UVA damage and UVB. So that's the type of ultraviolet. Also, wearing sun protective clothing. I think this is often underutilized, wearing long rash guards, wide brim hats, and let's not forget to protect our eyes because I see skin cancers on the eyelids, the lower eyelids. We need to protect all of our skin. Additionally, the simplest thing is just try to avoid those peak sun hours that you mentioned, 10 and 4. Those are the times of the day where it's really the most damaging to our skin. So if we could try to get a morning time outside and then maybe a later afternoon, evening time outside to get our vitamin D and fun in the sun, that's a lot safer than going out in the middle of the day.
Woo, because it felt like an oven out there. I'm not going to lie to you. But, you know, ultimately, like you said, we want to go outside. We want to enjoy our time. But we have to be like, I don't think people really understand the precautions and the dangers of being in the sun so long and exposing yourself to it as well. And with me right here live on The Splash, by the way, Dr. Molly Powers from Henry Ford Hospital, Department of Dermatology, talking about protecting our skin from the sun, these heat waves. It can get crazy out there. Now, I do want to talk about this, right? I mean, you just gave some great advice and things of that nature for the average resident, but what about for our most vulnerable populations, the children, the seniors? Do you have any advice or specific precautions that you recommend for that population?
Yeah, for our kids, they love to be outside. Let's start with infants. If a child is less than 6 months, really we should be prioritizing sun avoidance or sun protective clothing. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends sunscreen for 6 months or older. I also recommend, so when the child is 6 months or older, it's safe to start using a zinc oxide or a titanium dioxide sunscreen. Hats, shade, and of course, I mean, we're talking just about the skin. It's also important to protect them from the heat.
Right. Yeah.
Children, infants, they don't have the same mechanisms to cool themselves down, and they can't tell us. So it's very important to have safe heat practices for that population. Now, in particular, the older population, it can be quite complicated because some of our older population is also on medications that can make them more sensitive to the sun. They might be out in the sun trying to do their work that they need to do around the house. So it's very important that we educate our older population about medication interactions, trying to be out earlier in the day or later in the day. And let's check on our neighbors. We're a community here, and we should be checking on our younger and our older friends and family and neighbors to make sure everyone's doing okay, especially with some of the power outages and the inability to seek cooler, temperature-controlled climates indoors.
Check.
Well said. Yeah, no, it's a good time to go out and do that, especially if you know you do have an older neighbor or something like that, and they might need some care or someone to look out for them. Yeah, just pay them a visit. Just make sure, too, because, even the ACs, like using the AC at home during that time, 10 to 4, like they can hit you over the head just for those charges. So it's so many different things that go into play with this heat and how we can kind of manage ourselves and our home and our temperatures. But we're glad to have you here to kind of break some of that stuff down as well. Now, I just have a random question. Let's say someone wants to get out. This is their tradition, to get outside, soak in this sun, and just like let it absorb in their skin for some time. Like, how long or when should someone know, like, I've been outside too long and I need to like leave? Like, is there marks on your body? Like, give me some signs.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, really, anytime you're going to be under direct sunlight, you should be using sunscreen. And because there's no amount of safe sun exposure that we know of. So you have to be using sunscreen. I have tons of friends who love to be in the sun, and I try to tell them, wear your sunscreen. It can lead to skin cancer, like you mentioned, premature aging, signs of too much sun. Your skin can develop a heat rash, so you can get red bumps from the sun. You can get little, like another type of sweat rash where your sweat glands are working too much and it causes these little fluid-filled bumps from the sun. So it's more than just sun damage and the increased risk of skin cancer and aging. It can lead to a lot of heat rashes. And that's not fun either, because heat rashes, once your skin isn't working properly, it can't keep you cool the way it needs to. So we really need to take care of our largest organ, which is our skin.
True. Skin cancer and bumps and aging. That makes me, I'm almost scared of the sun at this point. I'm about to avoid the sun altogether.
No, don't be afraid. We want to have fun. We're in Michigan. We earned our summers. Let's enjoy it, but let's do it safely.
No, well said, and we appreciate that. Thank you again for your time, Dr. Power. Any additional information that we didn't go over that you want to share with our residents before we let you go?
I guess one of the things I want to talk about is I hear a lot of patients who say, I'm in the shade, I'm never in the sun. And I just want to say the shade is not adequate sun protection. So wear your sunscreen, wear your sun protective clothing, have fun this summer, be safe from the heat. And thanks so much for having me.
No, thank you for your professional expertise and information. Once again, Dr. Molly Powers, Henry Ford Hospital, Department of Dermatology. Thank you.
Thank you.
Important information to consider whenever you or your loved ones plan to go outside in these hot summer days. We'll continue to provide you with more tips and best practices to stay safe this summer. Sunset Charity Gala is presented by Knock Board. That's North Oakland County's Board of Realtors, an event where proceeds benefit Humble Design, a local organization supporting families transitioning out of homelessness. Here to tell us more about the event from North Oakland County Board of Realtors, we have Diana Eveneau and Renee Drummond. I'm so sorry. I know I was going to fumble. Thank you both for being here. We appreciate it. I can't wait to talk about this event and what you all have going on. Very, very special. I just want to start with you, Diane. Let's get into it. What inspired the organization Knock Board to create this Sunset Charity Gala?
So thank you, Kevin. We do a lot of charity work at NACBOR. We have a monthly euchre tournament, but not during the summer. And Renee and I were doing a wine tasting one day, and it just kind of organically happened out of that. I said, hey, what if we did this at NACBOR in the summer when we don't have other events going on? And we linked it with a charity. And then it just kind of grew. But what if we did it outside? If we had a beach setting, if we had music, if we have charcuterie, it just kind of exploded.
It sounds like you just kept adding better things and just make it sound like a good time as well. Now, with that being said, can you just briefly just tell us how the event has evolved over time as well?
Yeah, so this is our inaugural event, actually. Okay. We're very excited for this.
Nice.
We had to pivot from a wine tasting event because the venue that we have over on at the Bayside Beach Association, which was donated, by the way, as a venue, they don't allow glass, so we couldn't pull off the wine tasting because the wine tasting is in itself a charity event, and of course she has to show her beautiful bottles. So what we're going to do instead is I'm going to make a white sangria and a red sangria. We're going to have some delicious bevies there in plastic containers, of course.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. We wanted it to be a good time, right? We want to give our members and other members of the community that want to support the charity some bang for their buck, right? It's summertime. Let's be outside. Let's be near the beach. Let's do summertime things. So that was our vision. It's again, our inaugural event, and we're hoping to sell it out at 55 people.
Okay, that's what we're here for, to get that word out as well. Now, Renee, moving on to you, let's talk about it. What can attendees expect from the overall atmosphere of the event?
It is going to be a fantastic atmosphere. It's going to be very relaxed. It's going to be right there on the beach. You're going to have a lovely background with all the water and the music. We've got a saxophone player. We've got drinks. It's just going to be relaxing and nice and fun and casual. Just really a nice evening by the sunset. That's kind of our goal, is just to really take advantage of a Michigan summer night and enjoy that together. And doing it for a good charity, a good cause.
Exactly. And I want to kind of elaborate on that. I want you to continue on that, Renee. So what do you feel like makes this event stand out from other maybe summer fundraisers or galas, however you pronounce them, in our area?
Well, I think a lot of time in Michigan especially, it seems like we do a lot of golf outings, which are fantastic. We're getting ready to do one ourselves. We love those, but this is something totally different. This is, okay, maybe you don't play golf. Maybe you don't want to be in the heat all the time, but you are a person who really just enjoys relaxing with a glass of wine and while you're listening to some good music and talking to friends. So this is kind of that kind of environment that we want to create, just a very relaxing, fun event while we do this as a charity for a fantastic organization that ties in. It ties in with our real estate, ties in with the North Oakland Board of Realtors. So it's a really good tie-in to help the community, but also get our word out there.
Okay. So I want to further pick your brains about what we're expecting at this event. But with me right here live on The Splash, by the way, from the North Oakland County Board of Realtors, Renee Drummond, and we all have Diana Avenue talking about the upcoming NACBOR event that'll be the Sunset Charity Gala. I'm always confused if it's gala or gala, but it will be coming soon right here in our area. Yeah. I'm like, which one is it? But ultimately, so I want to ask you, Diana, about your performer for the evening, Antonio Muse, if I pronounced that right. Can you just talk about
Antonio Muse? Yes.
Talk about why they were selected, please.
So we wanted to have like a very soft kind of jazzy music background, and in researching and asking for referrals, he was a standout. So he played one of my very good friends and a fellow NACBOR member's birthday party, and she said he was a big hit. And doing some research with him, he does a lot of charity events. He plays at some wineries. And to be honest with you, when I got on the phone with him, we were talking about price, and he goes, you know what? He goes, I do this because I like it, and for these charity events, I'm not here to make a ton of money. So he gave us a very, very reasonable price, which we are looking to get sponsored, by the way. We're still looking for # need sponsors. And so he's just very genuine, very nice, and it fits in with the backdrop of what we're hoping to present at the event, which is kind of casual summer relax.
Yeah. Oh, we need that. That has to be part of our summer. At least one event like that where we get to just chill, have some wine, some sangria, listen to some good. Oh my goodness! Don't let me start right there. But Diane, I want to continue with.
Yes.
We need babysitters for that night.
We might need some babysitters. If I may, Kevin, I just wanted to talk, I wanted to kind of expound a little bit on what Renee said about the event and how we chose Humble Design.
Please.
We're in the business of putting people in homes, right? So the Northern Oakland County Board of Realtors is comprised with about 900 realtors and other affiliates like myself. And we oftentimes are working with families, getting into homes, and it is a big deal. But then we forget about the people that don't have homes, right? The people that struggle to find homes. And Humble Design as a charity fits such a wonderful need. We wanted to make sure that they got some love and appreciation for everything that they do. And they are going to be in attendance that evening as well. Kim and her director, and I believe his name is Chris, are going to be there to also talk about the charity. So we really want to be able to just make people aware that there are, while we're all here having a good time and celebrating at closing tables, that there are people that are struggling to find shelter, and they help with that. So, yeah.
I think that's very important that you mention that as well. And this is something I kind of want you all to elaborate on as well. Just talking about, you're representing NOC, North Oakland County's Board of Realtors. We feel like, why are realtors doing stuff like this? A charity, like, why are they even involved in the community? But I wanted you all to paint that picture. And if you want to, Renee, if you want to further elaborate on that, the importance of community engagement when it comes to NOC and how it actually coincides with your mission.
It does. And, the first thing, as a real estate agent, personally, I'm a real estate agent, and my job is to connect people with the home. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's your most expensive home, your least expensive, your first, your last, your middle. It doesn't matter. My job is to connect you with the home that you need. And I tell all of my clients, home is where your heart is. And I think that is a lot of what we talk about. And this gives us an opportunity, because Diana's right. We are so focused on getting the deal to the table and getting our clients in the home that they need that we forget there are people out there that are struggling to get a home. And that's just as important. That is crucially important. We want everyone to have a home. Everyone should have a home, a place to call home, a place to go, a place to feel safe. And that really, I'm so glad that we're able to do this charity, because that's what they're about. They're about putting your home back together. It's one thing to go from homeless to finally getting a home, and that's so exciting. But what's more exciting is when you get to go in and it's set up. It's set up as a home, because again, you got the home, but what if you don't have the bed? What if you don't have the dresser? This charity, Humble Design, goes in and fills those spaces for you. We want everyone to fill their heart with the home. So that is the goal of this charity, is to make sure that we really promote what this charity does and how important it is that, we're so excited that they get to not be away from being homeless, that they've moved out of that situation. But we also want them to continue to be happy there and to flourish and grow from that.
Yes, I'm so glad that you all have that in you to even consider the people who are going through homelessness and helping them get to that next level. We've actually worked with Humble Design, or actually had, we shot videos, or I should say stories, with local West Bloomfield high school residents or students partnering with Humble Design, and we saw the lives that it changed, and we were happy to be there, and we actually shared that story on our website as well. So great that you all are doing that. Just a few things before we let you go. Just continuing with you, Renee, if you want to, just tell us, what do you all expect in regards to growth for this event in the upcoming years?
Oh, we would love to do this every year. Are you kidding? We would love this thing to grow. I mean, right now, like Diana said, we're expecting 50 people. That would be awesome. But because it's new, and everybody's got all these events that they can do during the summer. If they choose to do our event, wow, we are thrilled to death. But next year, I'd like to see 100 people. The next year, let's do 150. I mean, because again, this is all going to help our community, all of our community. And I think that that's how your community grows. We help each other grow. We are a village. It takes a village. And so I would love to see this thing be a yearly event and grow, and it would be fabulous. And maybe even take have people that have been through, like you said, Kevin, you've done this program, you know what it is, have some of those people come back a year from now and say, this is what it did for me and my family. I mean, wow, how powerful would that be?
I know. Oh, I love that too. I love that. And just ending with you, Diana, if you want to just give out the details of the event again and any other information you want to share with our audience.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. We are excited to present the first annual Sunset Charity Gala. It is going to be on July 31st from 6 to 9 p.m. with live music, delicious sangria. We are going to have a beautiful charcuterie spread and desserts. It is $40 per person or $60 per couple. We want to make it cost effective for you. Nice. It's going to be at the Bayside Beach Association at 4343 Borland Street in West Bloomfield. And you can register on the website at www.nocbor.com. That is NOCBOR. Or you can call Christy after tomorrow at 248-674-4080. And we are still looking, since it's a charity event, we are still looking for a food sponsor and a music sponsor for a total of about $800. So if any of your listeners want to get in front of a fantastic group of real estate professionals and help a wonderful charity, we would love to talk to them.
Be a great time to collaborate and do it for a great cause as well. Once again, from the North Oakland County Board of Realtors, Renee Drummond and Diana Avenue, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Thank you for having us.
We appreciate it. Great charity event that we are anticipating July 31st. Once again, for more information on that event, go directly to their website, nocbor.com, NOCBOR.com. So much more to share with you in regards to what's happening in our local community, something that can get the kids out and active. We'll talk about that coming up. We're live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Mom, did you really need to buy 2 can openers for our emergency kit?
I can't help it. They're 2 for 1. What's this?
We need to keep our family communication plan safe in case of an emergency.
Thanks, Tita.
We should think ahead to keep Mom and Dad safe when it floods this year. I've got an evacuation route loaded on my phone.
I've got an updated list of Dad's meds.
And I've got just what we need to get them to take this seriously.
Start a conversation with your family and plan together for emergencies.
Missed one of our live broadcasts or one of your local municipal meetings? Check it out online at civiccentertv.com. Every meeting, show, and interview on demand. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. And now, back to The Splash, live.
Live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. My name is Kevin McIntosh. Thank you so much for joining us. The National Academy of Athletics launched its Oakland County franchise under Brad McAleer to partner with WB Parks and Rec for youth sports camps. They not only emphasize athletic fundamentals, but also life skills essential for our kids, like teamwork, confidence, and resilience. Here to tell us more is the owner of the National Academy of Athletics, Oakland County. We have Brad McAleer. Thank you for being here, Brad.
Thank you, Kevin. It's great to be here.
Yeah, happy to have you here doing things to help our youth and our kids get out and stay active in the summertime, and rather than just playing games. There's a time and place for that. But let's get into how you all have actually partnered with Parks and Recs. How did that partnership actually happen?
Well, it just started with grassroots, getting out there, talking to as many as we could. And luckily, West Bloomfield was one that had a need for some additional programs, additional sports in their area. And they have been phenomenal to work with, probably one of the best, if not the best partner that I've got. And we're able to offer some really cool sports, not just camps, but through clubs and other things for the kids in the area.
Nice, nice. Now, how do you see the program evolving to serve the specific Greater West Bloomfield community?
Well, right now we're in the thick of summer camp. We've got an all sports and a junior all sports. Our junior is ages 4 to 6, running right now at Marshbank Park as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
It's a hot day, but they're out there having a blast. I think right now they're doing soccer or have merged into flag football. But
Nice.
Beyond just our summer camps, we're going to have fall programs. We're running on the weekends for 5-6 weeks. We're going to come back with spring programs and then summer camps again next year. So it's just really exciting to be able to provide an outlet for kids to play and give them a place to come out and just have a ton of fun. And, it's not just that, but meet new friends. I was out at camp yesterday and, there was some kids that I never met before, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, she's my best friend." And then this morning at drop off, one of the moms is saying, "Oh, my daughters were just talking about, can I go back out and see Olivia? Can I go see her? I want to see her." So it's really cool to see these friendships, form through camp and through playing.
It'd be memories they'll never forget too, Brad. I remember going to different camps like that, meeting kids that I don't know to the day, but at the time, it was the greatest thing ever. Meeting new kids had just the same energy as you, enthusiasm. You're doing sports together, builds that camaraderie. I already know it's a great thing, and it just helps it all come together so very well. Now, we briefly talked about how, yes, we're doing athletics and getting outside, but talked about the other life skills as well. How do you incorporate some of these life skills like teamwork and resilience into these daily camp activities?
Through the play. I mean, sports are extremely important to be able to provide, like you talked about, teamwork, but confidence building, problem solving. So just in playing and learning how to fail and how to get up and how to keep moving forward, that translates not only in sports, but into everyday life, whether it be in the classroom or just, with your friends. It is something that, like we like to say, sports, give you valuable life lessons, life skills that you're going to use. And it's just really through playing and experiencing and, like I said, learning how to fail and learning how to get back up. You miss a shot, you miss a goal, you come back and you do it again. And, so we teach those skills, again, through playing, but we teach them in ways that, we put the campers and the kids in a position to have to work with somebody else, to have to get out of their comfort zone and push them a little bit in a good way, but push them a little bit to, experience more and, like I said, learn those things.
I don't think you realize how important what you said in regards to learning how to fail. I think adults need to revisit that sometime. I'm going to be honest with you, Brad, because that is a hard thing to deal with for a lot of people. Learning how to fail, learn how to deal with rejection, all of that. And if you don't learn to deal with it early, I think it's and then you learn that through sports because you're not going to win every game. So I think that was a very solid point, and that is absolutely needed. Great job with that. You hit the nail on the head with that. I want to ask you, when you were, I guess, doing your research or before you all actually implemented your plan and activities right here in West Bloomfield, did you identify any needs or gaps in our youth sports programming right here in West Bloomfield? Anything that you provided that was not here already?
We did that by working with West Bloomfield Parks, and we offer 14 different sports. So whatever they don't have, we can bring in and pretty much run that program or offer that sport for them. So the two big ones were tennis and pickleball. Pickleball has been the fastest growing sport 4 years in a row. Started out with the older community, but it's exploding with kids. So we've last week we ran a pickleball camp. We had one in June, and I'm sorry, last week was tennis, but we've run pickleball and tennis camps, and they've been big. And then the all sports camp really just gives kids the ability to experience a lot of different sports in 1 week. We're in this, era of travel sports, and it's 10 months out of the year or the whole year, and kids are dedicating themselves to one sport, and they're not getting the ability to try everything and play everything. So that's really what our all sports camp does. As I mentioned earlier, they were playing soccer when I left camp. They were going to do flag football after that. We've got kickball on the docket for later this afternoon, and just some sports that they may not get to play other than in gym class, and it gives them the ability to try it. Maybe they don't like it. Maybe they fall in love with it, and then they want to go down that route of playing that sport.
I agree. Let them experience everything early, sports, activity, everything, and just let them choose what they're passionate about or what they don't like. I 100% agree with that. And with me right here, by the way, live on The Splash is the owner of National Academy of Athletics for Oakland County, Brad McAleer, just talking about their summer sports camp with WB Parks and more. Before we let you go, Brad, we appreciate your time and being here. Give out the details of the camp that people need to know if they are interested in any other information we need to know.
Yes, so we've got 2 camps left this summer with West Bloomfield. We've got a pickleball camp coming up the week of July 28th through August 1st. And then we've got another all sports camp coming up August 4th through the 8th. Again, the all sports, we offer it for junior academy, which is ages 4 to 6, and for youth, which is ages 7 to 12. Our pickleball camp is ages 7 to 13. To register for those, wbparks.org, top right-hand corner, there's a register button, so you can go click on that and find out all the details. But we also have, as I mentioned, fall sports coming up. So we're going to have a tennis club, we're going to have a pickleball club, we're going to have a junior all-sports club, and a youth all-sports club. Those are going to be running on Sundays starting in September. So that pretty soon should be up on wbparks.org to register for those as well.
Okay.
Or you can visit our website, oaklandcountyyouthsports.com. All the information about the company, about our mission, our philosophy, and also can find those classes and links take you directly to wbparks.org to register. But we're proud to be in West Bloomfield. We're proud to serve the community. The big thing for us is we bring the equipment, we bring the coaches. We just want as many kids as we can get out there to experience it, to play, to have fun. And like I said, maybe get a lifelong love of sports, but at the very least, be active, meet some new friends, have a blast, and just be outside off the screen.
Yeah, it's so much you can take away from it. And I'm so glad that you all are doing it. Thank you once again. And thank you to the owner of National Academy of Athletics for Oakland County, Brad McAleer, for giving us your time and your information. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on. It's been a blast talking to you. I really enjoyed it. And, hopefully some people check out our website and we see you out at camp or out on the field in the fall.
All right. OaklandCountyYouthSports.com or go directly to our local Parks and Recreations website, wbparks.org, for more information. The CDC recognizes community water fluoridation, adding fluoride to our local water is one of the greatest public health achievements of the 20th century, preventing about 25% of tooth decay and populations with access. We actually spoke with local dentists from Caring Smiles Dentistry in West Bloomfield, Dr. Amira May and Dr. Warren Woodruff, to tell us a little bit more.
Good to have both of you with us today.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you both again. Glad to be getting into this conversation. It's a very important conversation. In light of Utah's decision to ban fluoride in drinking water, how do you plan to educate patients and families in West Bloomfield about fluoride's benefits and safety?
Yes, well, I'm really glad you guys are bringing this topic to light. It's really important, especially hits home for us. But I think it's important to realize that fluoride in water benefits anyone who ingests it. But my favorite part about it is that it benefits children, and especially babies that aren't even born yet. That's because fluoride in water helps to protect teeth that are forming, that haven't even come into the mouth yet. So even in utero, a mother drinking water that's been fluoridated is helping the teeth to come in stronger so they can be more resistant to cavities. That's my favorite part about the benefits. In terms of safety, fluoride is not toxic, and it's actually naturally occurring in water. It's just in the United States, it's at a much lower level than what's beneficial. So we raise it a little bit so that it can be beneficial for everybody. And just so people know, it's raised to 0.7 parts per million, which means that if you had 1 million ounces of water, there's less than 1 ounce that is fluoride.
All right. Very interesting information that everybody can take with them. Warren, I want to throw a question to you. How do you address the dental care needs of patients who may not have regular access to fluoride or preventative treatments, especially those from underserved areas?
Yeah, I believe that access shouldn't determine the health outcomes of patients. If someone is not able to afford to go to their dentist or different reasons why they may not be able to make that visit, there's really a lot of things that they can be doing at home. So we're stressing the importance of making sure people are brushing and flossing correctly, using mouth rinse correctly. But with a lot of those products, we want to make sure that there's fluoride in those products as well. So there's a lot of different mouth rinses. One in particular is called ACT mouth rinse that has fluoride in it. So we really stress the importance of using those products at home. And then when patients do come into the office, we can talk to them about very affordable treatments that we can offer, such as fluoride treatment in office, or sealants, or personalized plans for what they can do at home from different products that they can use that can really make a big difference in the outcome of their oral health.
Awesome. I love that. You're doing so much to educate the general public on these topics, which are very, very important. Here's a question for both of you. With fluoride becoming a political topic, how can local dental practices like Caring Smiles Family Dentistry combat misinformation and promote science-based care in the community? Amira, we'll start with you.
Yes, well, I really think it's unfortunate that it's become so polarizing. And I do think, like what you said, it's because of misinformation. I think it's important that we want to make it clear that we have patients who have all different beliefs. We accept all different beliefs, and there's no judgment on if somebody does not want fluoride for themselves. Right. It's only our job to make sure that we are giving the information that would be best for them, and if they would like to move forward, providing the best care possible. But we do realize it has become so polarizing. It's just so unfortunate because it's such an inexpensive way in the grand scheme of things to affect so many people, especially the, like you mentioned, the underserved, vulnerable populations, the children. And so to take that away is unfathomable.
Yeah, and another thing too, we focus on trust and transparency at our office. So all the decisions we make are always science-based. And one thing that a lot of people may not know is that Grand Rapids was actually the first city in the world to implement fluoride in their drinking water. So the state of Michigan has been a pioneer. This was back in 1945. So the state of Michigan has been a pioneer in promoting oral health and finding the benefits of it as well. So it's our job to continue to promote that science that is dated back, so many decades, almost a half a century ago, that shows the importance of fluoride and how it can prevent cavities and future issues that people may have that don't have fluoride in their water as well.
For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, we have Dr. Warren Woodruff and Dr. Amira Woodruff from Caring Smiles Family Dentistry here talking about the importance of fluoride in response to recent discussions to possibly ban it from drinking water. Amira, the next question's for you. What role do you think schools and youth programs in Greater West Bloomfield can play in reinforcing the importance of dental hygiene, especially if fluoride access becomes limited in the future?
Yes, that's a great question. There are a number of programs and also businesses that actually go into schools. And so it will be a dental provider, whether it's a dentist or a dental hygienist, who actually does exams. They'll take a look at all the children's teeth. They may provide some quick, easy treatments, whether that's sealants or whether it's applying fluoride. But a lot of times that is the first chance a child has a dental provider to be able to see that there could be something going wrong. And dental caries is the #1 disease in children, and not everybody has access to care. So there's kids at school with dental infections, and some of them can become severe, and it can affect their daily lives and their overall health as well. So we'll see with these programs. Sometimes we'll get patients coming to our office that will have a little form where it says down that somebody saw them on this date, what they found, and that what treatment that they recommend they need treatment. So then we'll do an exam, take x-rays, and then take care of that person. So I think without a lot of those programs, there may be many children who find out too late that there's an issue going on.
That's right. Those programs, very, very important. And like I've been saying, it's good that you're looking out for the kids. Warren, if fluoride access were ever limited locally, what alternative preventative strategies would you recommend to West Bloomfield families to help protect their children's teeth?
Yeah, I mean, a simple message of brushing daily and flossing is something that can go a long way in people at home and in their communities. So that's something that we would really have to make sure that we're stressing the importance of that even more frequently and to families if fluoride were to be limited. I think we love to support any community efforts as possible. We always are going into speaking to the different schools and different community events. And I think just dentists getting together collectively to make sure that everyone in our community understands the importance of their oral health, importance of taking care of their teeth, minimizing candy and other foods and things that can cause cavities, is going to just be even more important for us all to have that discussion if fluoride were to be limited.
That's right. All those important practices to keep in mind that we've been hearing for a very long time, all important to remember for the future. I want to thank both of you for coming by and having this conversation with us. One more quick question before we let you go. Do you see yourself or your practice taking on a broader public health role in the community, perhaps working with local officials or school boards when it comes to oral health policy and advocacy?
Well, I actually do think that'd be wonderful to do in the future. Right now, with such a busy practice and an even busier toddler, we have not been involved in actual policy and advocacy outside of what Dr. Warren already mentioned, us going and speaking at schools. We also speak at different events. We'll have a table, and it's more than just passing out our business cards. Every single event we do, we have people coming up who haven't been to the dentist in a long time, or they just have had a fear and they have questions, specific questions, and we talk it through. And even though it might be just small impacts on each individual person instead of a grander scheme of the whole community, we feel that every interaction makes a big difference.
Warren, same question.
Yeah, and to piggyback off of what Dr. May said, I think it's also important to find ways to educate the community for people that aren't even our patients. And one thing that we do on our social media is we try to make different posts about different dental education tips and things that people can be doing at home. We have a blog on our website as well. So we're always constantly updating that and giving the most up-to-date recommendations of products to use. On our website, we even have a favorite dental products page we share with the community as well. So all those different things that we want to try to be able to reach as many people as possible, even if they're not our patients or they're not able to come to our office, just continuing that line of open communication. And our doors are always open. So if anybody wants to ever come to our office and meet with us or talk to us, or there are community events that are looking to have people participate or have us speak at, we're always open to that as well.
Well, it's amazing everything you guys are doing, and I hope that this conversation helps to educate people even further. Amira, Warren, thank you both so much for joining us here on The Splash Live.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you to Dr. Amira May and Dr. Warren Woodruff from Caring Smiles Dentistry in West Bloomfield for that information. We'll continuously keep you updated with great information and useful information for you in our community. My name is Kevin McIntosh. I've been your host for today. Per usual, we are live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.